This story concerns a little boy who went with his mummy and daddy to the side of a large lake where there was a beach and the children could swim. It was a hot, sunny day, and everybody was very hot in the house. "Let's go to the beach," said Mummy. "Good idea," said Daddy. "Can I take my toy shark?" said the little boy. "Of course you can," said Mummy. So Mummy packed up all the things that you need when you go to the beach. For example, she packed some towels, she packed some swimming trunks. It was a hot, sunny day, so she packed the suntan cream and caps to keep the sun off the little boy's head, and sunglasses, of course, for everybody. She also made some nice sandwiches. She made egg sandwiches, cheese sandwiches, ham sandwiches, tomato sandwiches.
But Mommy has more fruit.
And she brought some fruit. And of course, the most important thing when you're on a hot beach are cold drinks.
Someone got to take a drink.
So she brought some ice cold drinks.
Yes, but when we go to the beach, that juice. When we go to the beach, we take juice.
Yeah, she also took some juice. Anyway, the little boy couldn't wait to get into swimming trunks when they arrived at the beach. There were lots of other children playing on the beach, and some in the water splashing around, some playing with boats, some playing with stones and throwing stones into the water. Some were jumping, some were swimming. Every child had his own little game with his daddy or his mummy, or with his brother or sister, or sometimes just all on their own. There were a few children sitting by the edge of the water, just throwing stones into the water to see what would happen. And as he threw the stones, the water went splash, splash, splash. Anyway, this little boy, the subject of our story, had an interesting idea which he wasn't going to tell anybody. So first of all, he went down to the beach with his daddy, holding hands, and jumped into the water. Obviously, his daddy had put on water wings. Those are the blow-up things that you wear on your arms to keep you afloat. And with those water wings, he could swim and splash and not be frightened of the water at all. But he still had a little idea, and he said to his daddy, "Daddy, is it okay if I drink the lake water?" And Daddy said, "Well, it looks crystal clear. I don't think it'll do you any harm." And that was his secret plan, to drink it all. So he started to drink the lake water, and then he drank some more and more and more and more. Now, nobody knew he was drinking it really, unless they were looking closely, but they did know. People started to notice something very unusual. The level of the lake started to get lower and lower and lower. And pretty soon, somebody had drunk all the water in the lake, and there was no more water in the lake. It was empty. Well, that meant that everybody could walk out to the middle of the lake and find what was under the water, deep under the water. And do you know what they found? They found sunken ships. They found boxes of treasure that people had thrown overboard or dropped overboard. They found rings that people had fallen off people's fingers. They found earrings, they found watches, they found plastic toys like plastic cars and things that children had dropped by mistake over the edge of boats. Lots of boats which had sunk in the past, going back hundreds, if not thousands of years. They found spears from the Roman soldiers. Yeah, they found a lot of interesting things. But there was another little problem. There was a boy sitting on the beach watching all this going on, and that was you, the little boy, who was very, very full of water. And you know what happens after you've drunk a lot, don't you? Mm-hmm. What happens?
I don't know.
What do you think happens if you drink too much?
Your tongue will go pop.
And that's just what happened. The little boy's tummy was getting bigger and bigger and bigger with all the water he'd drunk, until suddenly it went pop, and all the water gushed out and filled the lake again back to the previous level. Luckily, it didn't hurt the little boy, because it popped out of his belly button, which immediately closed just as soon as the water was out. And then the lake was back to normal, and everybody said,
You mean here?
"Yes, your belly button." And everybody said, "Where on earth did all that water come from?" Well, I'm not going to tell them. Are you?
No.
No, that's our secret, where it came from. We won't tell them where the water went. We won't tell them where it came from. But it was a big surprise for everybody to see the lake completely drained. Anyway, that's basically the end of the story, and the little boy had a lovely time, and when he got to school he told all his friends what he'd done, and everybody was very impressed that he'd drunk a whole lake. The end.